Hello, and welcome to the Maximum Dimension. Now, we've seen some pretty amazing things around here, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorites. I like it because, well, it seems so fair, and yet something sneaky must have gone on because the results are pretty impossible. Now, this is something you can try for yourself later at home. Right now, you can watch me do it, and I'll explain. It involves a checkerboard. Now, to do this at home, you'll want to make your own checkerboard using paper or cardboard and a pencil. A ruler will help because neatness counts. You're not going to want to use a real checkerboard for reasons that will be obvious in just a moment. Let's take a look at my checkerboard. You'll notice that it has 8 squares across the top row, and there are also 8 squares going down the side. That's 8 across, 8 down. 8 times 8 is 64. There are 64 squares on our checkerboard. Now, we're going to cut the checkerboard in half. When you do this later, be careful with those scissors. You'll notice that I haven't cut the board diagonally. In other words, it didn't go strictly from one corner to the other. Instead, I've made the cut from the top left corner to 1 square in from the lower right corner. That's important. Next, I rearrange the pieces. Now that leaves one little triangle in the upper left, and we'll move that around to the lower right where it fits in neatly right there. So we've rearranged our checkerboard, but here's the curious thing. In this arrangement, the checkerboard is exactly 7 squares across the top row and 9 squares down. And 7 times 9 is 63. So the question is, what happened to one of the squares? Life is filled with surprises, and as you know, I love surprises. But it's also fun to try and predict things, which is why I'm holding this. I've just sent Benjamin into my laboratory to get my deck of playing cards. Now, that should be a simple process, but of course, he's got to deal with pi, and that can have unusual results. Nevertheless, I have made some calculations based on his previous performances, and I am predicting that he will get that deck of cards right about now. Well, perhaps this is going to take longer than I anticipated.
Here's the deck of cards you wanted.
What happened to you?
Well, Pi thought I asked for a deck of cars. When the door opened, there was one of those big transport trucks all decked with cars. I tried to close the door before the fumes got into the lab, but...
Well, I certainly didn't include that in my prediction.
What prediction?
Oh, I was trying to predict how long it would take you to get the deck of cards, but it didn't turn out as I expected.
So I guess predicting things isn't easy.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to predict. But you're right, Benjamin. It can be quite difficult to predict certain things.
Like people?
Oh, especially people. People are so perplexing. I mean, trying to predict the behavior of humans is very difficult. There are so many factors to consider. If I were trying to make an accurate prediction about you, well, I'd have to make a much more thorough assessment of your personality.
You mean you'd have to get to know me better?
Well, yes, in a way.
Well, like you say, don't stop thinking too soon.
Absolutely. You know, you've really been making great progress here these past few weeks.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun. But sometimes it's really confusing.
Well, it gets that way for all of us.
Even you?
Oh, sure. I mean, like when I was trying to predict what you'd do a few moments ago. See, all of us go through times where our minds seem to get kind of tangled up in knots.
Hey, that reminds me. I got a new brain teaser. Would you like to see it?
Certainly.
I bet you that I can tie a knot in this rope without letting go of either end.
Without... All right, Benjamin, you've got me intrigued. I don't see how you can tie a knot in this rope without letting go of the ends, although I have a feeling you've got a very tricky solution.
Oh, I do. First, what you gotta do is tie your arms in a knot. And then you pick up both ends and...
Bravo! I would have never predicted that solution.
Hi, guys. Guess what? I have another dynamite idea. Great, huh? What do you think?
It looks just like Max.
What on earth is that?
Oh, you haven't seen the best part yet.
That's the most revolting thing I've ever seen.
It could make us millions. We'll call it the Max doll. Great, isn't it? Can't you see it?
I am truly appalled.
I'm sorry.
What's so funny?
You are. You're so predictable. I knew you'd say that.
Then why did you shove that grotesque thing in my face?
Because I predicted how you'd react, and predicting things is fun.
Max was predicting stuff too today.
What, like numbers?
No, me. He predicted how long I'd take in the lab, and he got it wrong.
Well, human behavior is very complex.
Is that why you like numbers so much? Because they're easier to predict than people?
Well, it's a very sensible question, Benjamin, and the answer is no. The reason I find numbers so endlessly fascinating is because, like people, they're so mysterious. Which reminds me, it's time for our first experiment, which happens to involve a prediction. Now pay close attention to what I'm about to do, because later I'll explain what you need to know to do it yourself. Now, to save time, we won't use the entire deck, just about a third of the cards. I'll put the rest away.
What's in the envelope?
Oh, that's my prediction.
Oh.
No cheating.
Sorry.
Now, Benjamin, pick up those cards. I'm going to ask you to think of a number up to 7, but I'll turn away so that I can't see what the number is. Have you got one in mind? Let me know when you're ready.
We're done.
Okay? Deal that many cards into a pile on the table. But deal quietly so that I can't count by listening. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay. Samantha, put your hand on top of the cards on the table so that when I turn around, I won't be able to see them.
Ready.
Okay. Secret number of cards underneath Samantha's hands. With the remaining cards, we're going to use a magic spell. I think we'll use my name. Spell Max Maven, dealing 1 card for each letter. Go ahead.
M-A-X-M-A-V-E-N.
Nicely done. Put the rest of the cards on top. Now, I'll turn around again, and Samantha, you take the cards from under your hand and put them back on top of the others. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Now the deck has been reassembled, and I have no chance of finding out what the secret number was. Everything's been done while my back was turned.
Right.
Pick them all up. We're going to put that magic spell in one more time. Spell my name.
M-A-X-M-A-V-E-N.
Good. This time take those cards and put them back on top. Neatness counts. Now, you'd have to agree that everything has been completely fair, because I turned away and you had a secret number and things were done that I couldn't possibly control. So we must have a random situation here, yeah?
Right.
Right.
Let's find out what card happens to be on top right now. Take a look. The 5 of clubs. Well, let's see what I have as my prediction. The 5 of clubs.
It's a trick deck, right? All the cards are the same?
Wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? Could we just have one hint?
All right. One hint. When we began, I knew that the 5 of clubs was on the bottom of the packet of cards.
Do you have to start with a certain number of cards?
That's a good question. There were exactly 16 cards in the group.
Mm-hmm. Max Maven has 8 letters, and we counted that out twice. And 8 times 2 is 16.
Now you're getting very close.
What about Ben's secret number?
I guess it didn't affect anything, even though it seemed like it did.
You're well on your way to unraveling the mystery of this prediction.
which is way harder than figuring out how to predict people.
I don't think so. People are much more complicated. There are so many variables and things you can't control. It's much more difficult to predict people.
No, numbers are way harder.
People are harder.
I predicted you pretty easily with that Max doll.
Well, maybe you did, but you couldn't do it again.
Oh, is that a challenge?
No, I wasn't actually saying...
You're on. On second thought, I don't think so. I'm not really interested. You know, numbers, predictions, it's all so boring.
Boring? It is anything but boring. It's interesting, intriguing,
I got
fascinating.
you again. I knew it. I knew if I said that numbers were boring, it'd just set you off.
That wasn't fair.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. It's not a prediction unless you tell what's gonna happen before it happens.
But I knew he'd start ranting and raving.
But if you don't tell somebody, you could cheat. If Max fell asleep, you could say, oh, I predicted that. Or if he got so mad, he started breaking things, you could say, I predicted that too.
All right. I'll do it again, but this time I'll do it right. I'll tell Ben my prediction, and when I'm right, he'll confirm it.
Excellent.
Sounds fair to me.
Now let's go wash your face. This is going to be so easy.
This is going to be so easy. All I have to do is figure out what she expects me to do, and then do the opposite. Then again, she knows that I know. But I know that she knows that I know. But she knows that I know that she knows that I know. I don't know.
What is that thing?
Oh, it's Max's handkerchief. I was in here before and I got kind of sooty.
Is everything in this place weird? I've never seen a black handkerchief before.
So what's your prediction? Thought you said it'd be easy.
I don't know. I have to figure out something that Max won't think I'd predict. Otherwise, he'll just do the opposite of what he usually does.
Like what?
I don't know.
Hey, what are you doing? That's how you get pie.
I thought so. I bet she knows a lot about Max.
But it won't work.
Greetings again, Benjamin. Hello, Samantha.
Hi, Pie.
Would you like to retrieve something from the puzzle boxes?
Only if it has information about Max.
Oh, I don't believe such an object exists.
Sure it does. You must know lots of things about Max.
I retrieve things. I don't know things.
See? She won't answer questions.
Sure she does. Pie, what does Max eat for breakfast?
Are you ready for your question?
You gotta say yes or she'll go away.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
What goes up white and comes down yellow?
I know. Eggs.
Watch out! Oh. See? She does know stuff about Max. Apparently he eats eggs for breakfast. But this is not a good prediction. I need something else. Let's think. Pie? How many times a day does Max brush his teeth?
What's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and unreachable?
Unreachable.
What does that have to do with brushing your teeth?
If it's unreachable, then it's gotta be a rainbow.
Oh, watch out, watch out.
No, this one's okay.
This doesn't help. Pie, tell me something useful.
What would you have if all the cars in the nation were pink?
A pink carnation.
Okay, this is silly. Isn't that pretty?
I guess Pie, they thought it was silly, too.
Why did she ask all those questions? What do you think she's trying to say?
With Pie, anything's possible.
Well, you're good at figuring out riddles. What's she saying?
Pink carnations, rainbows, yellow and white eggs. Colors.
What?
Colors. The first riddle had yellow and white. The second had all the colors of the rainbow. And the third had pink.
So, what? Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Pi. I got a fantastic prediction. I have something to do at home. I'll be right back.
Oh, did you make your prediction?
Yes, I did.
What's that?
Samantha's prediction. She decided to put it in an envelope, just like you did.
Well, we don't need this anymore. You can take it back down to the laboratory. And while you're there, get the things we'll need for the next experiment. 3 pieces of paper, a pen, and about 30 small objects.
Okay. What kind of objects?
Just small ones.
Right. Could you be more specific? I mean, Pi takes everything so literally.
You know, like toothpicks or paper clips. Jelly beans would be good. Just small ones.
Okay.
I'm going to have to be very careful from here on. Whatever she thinks I'm going to do, I must do the opposite. To play our next game, you're going to need 3 pieces of paper, something to write with, and about 30 small objects. You know, toothpicks or, well, you get the idea.
What happened to you?
I asked Pi very specifically for jelly beans. But she opened the puzzle box door before I got the beans part out. It doesn't taste as bad as it looks.
Well, what's in the... I believe this is yours.
Thank you.
And let's play our game.
Don't you want to see what's in the bag?
Not really.
Okay.
Now, to play our game, you have your 3 pieces of paper and a pen and small objects. Take the first piece of paper, and on it, draw a large letter A. You do the same. Put a big A on your first piece of paper. Place that over to your left. On the second piece of paper, draw the letter B. You put a big B on your center piece of paper and don't get jelly on it. On the last piece of paper, write the letter C. That goes over to the right. Same thing for you, A, B, and C. Now, from here on, I don't want to see what you're doing, so I'll turn away. Here's the idea. I want you to think of a number from 4 to 9 and place that many objects onto paper A. Now, place the same amount of objects onto paper B. And put the same number of objects onto paper C. So you have 3 sets of objects, 1 on each piece of paper, each being the same amount. Okay. Remove 2 of the objects from paper A and place them onto paper B. Good. Take 3 of the objects from paper C and move them onto paper B. Excellent. At this point, I want you to count how many objects remain on paper A. All set? Listen carefully. Whatever that number you just counted, remove that many objects from paper B and put them onto paper C. Here's the final part. Take 1 object from either A or C and put it onto B. Now think about this. You began with a secret number. You've moved things all around. At this point, no one could know how many objects are on paper B. I want you to count how many objects are there. And that is your secret number that no one could have known in advance. It would have been impossible to predict that total. Or maybe not.
2, 4, 6, 8. You did it again. Our secret number's 8.
Just like you predicted.
Max, I'm so impressed by your powers of prediction. I got you a little present.
Oh, that wasn't necessary, Samantha.
Oh, it's just a token, really. A token of appreciation for all the fun we have here. Now, it'll keep you warm during the winter and add some color to your wardrobe.
no.
Why don't you
This is
come
not a
here?
good idea.
Try it on.
Well, I suppose that was your prediction? I predict that Max will refuse to wear the lime green scarf. All right, you got me.
See? People are easier to predict.
They are not easy.
Oh, you just can't stand that I'm better than you at anything, can you?
I am fully willing to admit that you're better than I am when it comes to predicting people, sort of.
You are?
Yes, and I'm willing to say you're a keen observer, at least when it comes to me. But that doesn't lead to the conclusion that human beings are easy to predict.
I think there was a compliment in there. I'm not sure, though.
Yes, I suppose there was.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey, Max, can we try this game again, this time starting with a different number of objects?
Very good idea, Benjamin. Reset the objects in the papers and I'll go over it with you. Samantha.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
So tell me, Samantha, would you have predicted that we'd ever wind up agreeing on anything today?
No way.
Me neither.
Oh, we just agreed on that, too. Does that mean we have to stop disagreeing?
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't give up our debates for anything.
Oh, good. That's a relief.
Perhaps Samantha's beginning to understand me better than I'd imagined. In which case, I'll have to work harder at being mysterious and surprising. Then again, she may be able to predict what I'll do, but could she tell you why? Could anyone?
Don't go away. You have one more chance to play the game we started with. Ready? Let the game begin!
Cut the checkerboard in half from the top left corner to one square in from the lower right corner. That's important. Next, I rearrange the pieces. Now that leaves one little triangle in the upper left, and we'll move that around to the lower right where it fits in neatly right there. So we've rearranged our checkerboard, but here's the curious thing. In this arrangement, the checkerboard is exactly 7 squares across the top row and 9 squares down. And 7 times 9 is 63. So the question is, what happened to one of the squares?